Good evening and welcome to the Municipality of Monroeville Zoning Hearing Board meeting for June 5th, 2019. If everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. If anyone has cell phones, if they could make sure they're silenced, please. Sharon, roll call, please.
Mr. Rosapel, Mr. Griziak,
Here.
Mr. D'Agostino,
Here.
Mr. Dice,
Here.
Mr. Weldon.
Here.
Thank you. We have the minutes from the May 1st, 2019 meeting. Any changes or corrections?
No.
Motion, please.
Yes.
Motion to approve.
Yeah, approved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Minutes carry. Motion carries.
Let me make a statement.
Yes.
I want to just make a statement for the record. There's only two members of the zoning hearing board here tonight. Ordinarily, there's three. Mr. Rosapel called in and indicated he was having some issues with his wife, and he had to take her to the hospital. He's not here. Is there any of the applicants here tonight that want to have a full complement of all three board members? If that's the case, we would postpone your case till next month. Otherwise, these two board members can hear the case and make decisions if you so agree. Is there anybody that wants to ask for a postponement till next month in order to have all three members being here? Otherwise, the two members will hear it. Raise your hand if you have any issue here. Seeing none, then understand there will only be two hearing officers, two individuals that will hear this case and decide it for your, on your case.
Thank you. Paul, new business?
Item number 1, 1912A, Custom Signs, Inc. Applicant requests a variance from section 307.12C of the Monroeville zoning ordinance number 1443 as amended to install a sign on the front of the building that will exceed the total maximum allowable square footage of a wall sign by 180 square feet. The property is located at 3700 William Penn Highway, tax parcel ID 638R242 in the C2 Business Commercial Zoning District.
Is the applicant here or somebody to speak? Please come up. Anyone who's going to speak? Need to sign in, please. Sir, are you going to speak?
Yeah, I was going to just ask, are you going to also testify, sir?
Yes.
Why don't you sign in too?
Would you please raise your right hand? You swear that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
I do.
Thank you.
My name is Cindy Krasinski, and I'm with Custom Signs. We've requested the variance on behalf of Burlington and Blair Signs to put up signage on 3 elevations of the store, as you see from the art. Our plea is based on the overall size of the parcel, as well as the distance from the drives, and the consistency of the branding for the Burlington store. Be more than happy to answer any questions you might have about the sign design, and then Scott can talk about the design as well. So if there's anything that you would have any questions on.
This is the old Babies R Us location, correct?
Correct.
Next to Joanne's on 22 or off of 22 there.
Right beside Joanne's.
Now, the size of the signs is much larger than we normally permit. You're aware of those?
I am aware of that. I will say that I mean, I know that you make everybody box them, but if you don't box it and you count actual square footage, sometimes the space when you have a lot of little letters takes up more square footage, so, and we can tweak that some without changing the size, but not, I wouldn't think too much. Scott, would you like to add anything about the,
Yeah,
Scott, can you just state your name for the record,
my
please?
name's Scott Bilbrey. I'm from California. I'm the Burlington sign and graphic designer nationally. They don't like to mess with the size and the kerning of their letters. And 40 years ago, when they started the business, they weren't as mature as they are now, and the logo they came up with isn't the best logo for a sign. There's a lot of space in between each kerning. It's spread out. It's not like Ross or Kohl's where it's pressed together. So there's a lot of free breathing space in there. Hence, that's why they designed the facade to match the logo to give it some breathing room so you can read it. If you square it up and you square up a Ross sign with the same size height letter, we're about 30% less square footage than one of the more mature corporate type companies. This was just a one-man shop when they first started. Regarding the design, we try to make it organic, and we're branding the building with the size of the facade. It's actually designed for the 84-inch letter. Obviously, some cities won't allow us to do that, and they have reduced them to a 72-inch letter, and it gives you to have an ideal sign. You want a 60% background of free breathing space and 40% of the sign readable, and with an 84-inch letter, that's what you're getting. And reducing it down a little bit, if you get too much smaller, it turns into a postage stamp, as we call it in the sign industry.
Now, with is it 84-inch sign currently?
Yes,
Size
that's
letters?
what we're requesting, yes.
That yields a 100, you're over by 180 square foot per sign.
Yes, sir.
If you went down to the 72,
72.
what does that take it to?
That would take us to, I'm shooting from the hip, it's about 325. It's about 100 square feet over.
if I might interrupt you just for a second too, and I want to make sure that we include it. The front elevation, according to the paper, we're asking for 180 square feet on every elevation, but the front elevation also has the logo down here, which is an additional 15.
Put that down on that table in front of you, there's an X. If you put it down, I can use a camera.
Facing
Oh.
you.
Great.
High tech here.
There's a little logo there that's an additional 15 square foot, so for the front, we would actually need more than 180. We need the 195, or isn't the logo 15?
It's
16.
Yeah.
So we'd need 196.
They're flat, non-illuminated cutout letters. It's just for when you walk by it, you're kind of in the right spot type of deal.
Which sign is that on the front?
It's on the front elevation, and it looks like a little heart, and it's
That's
down on...
19-12-A.
Correct.
That is
Yes,
the one we're talking
it
about.
is. But see, under 1912-A, it says 180 square feet, which is the same with every other elevation,
Okay, how much additional space for the other thing?
16 square feet.
That's for the fancy B letter.
Yeah, or the heart.
Oh, the heart, I'm sorry.
And of course, our measurements are going from the highest letter to the lowest part of the letter. So from the highest part of the B to the lower part of the G boxed.
Yeah, when we looked at the square footage, we just draw a rectangle around everything. So as they say, there is a lot of white space, open space that isn't letters. And if you look at some of the other photos in there, the pictures, images, you can see it's sort of in scale with the building. So it seems like a big number, but a lot of that is open space in there, unused space.
I have a larger picture.
Do you want to lay it here on
Yeah,
that?
you can do that.
Pull it towards you a little bit.
Little
You can look at
towards
the monitor.
yourself, yeah.
Towards me?
If you look at the monitor up in the, you
Oh.
can see how to adjust it there.
Look at those new fancy
See,
things.
we're not used to TV.
These signs, is it neon?
They'll be LED, low
LEDs.
voltage, I think they're 12 volt.
And
The- the whole-
the whole sign lights up?
The whole sign would light up. During the day, the bottom letters would be black, and at night they would turn into a white. It's called the day-night vinyl. There's a bunch of holes poked in it, so the illusion of black's up there. It'll light white, and it'll be about 40% quieter than the red, softer.
I don't know if it's appropriate to ask if you'd be willing to amend your application to go to the 72 plus the 16 on the front. We have a concern about just having too much signage, as you probably face in other municipalities also that you deal with.
Sure.
What would that do to your project if we
Well,
went, split the difference and went from the 315? I think currently, help me out, Paul, you're at 225,
225 is our maximum permissible. They're asking for 405.
so the difference there,
I did the math.
half of that, yeah,
Here's what it would be. The first sign would be a total of 341 feet in its total ability, or 116-foot variance. The next two signs would be 100-foot total variance. Take it to their lower, to that smaller,
font or,
yeah, we'll call it the font.
Could you-
If that's something that you're willing to consider, this board has two choices. They can either deny this or approve it as it stands right now. Right now, I think, as the attorney sitting here listening, I think that they don't feel that they want that larger sign that's been proposed. Therefore, they would be denying these applications. That costs you money to come back in here again if what you want to do is reduce the size and make another application. I'm suggesting to you, if you're prepared to amend your applications in each of those cases to read that you, on the first sign, you would want a 116 square foot variance, and on the next two signs, on 13 and 14, 19-13A would be 100 feet square, and 1914A would be 100-foot square. If you're willing to, if that's something you're saying you want to do, you need to tell us that. You need to say that you will amend your applications to so
I could,
reflect
I could amend the application to reflect
for all
that.
three.
For all three.
Okay, so now the application reads that they want 116 for the first one, 100 and 100, in that order. So what, is there any need for any more testimony? I don't think so.
is there anybody else in the audience that has anything on this case?
There's been no complaints made? Paul?
Correct.
You've not received any comments about this?
Correct.
Okay.
And the one thing we have on number 3 is that we have to approve, there's a third, not only the size, but approving that we have a third sign that we're permitting. So if we could take each one individually.
Yeah, that's what we should
If-
do.
Again, if you folks are agreeable to do the amendment, as Mr. Dice.
Absolutely. Thanks
You
for
are
working with
agreeable,
us.
that's correct.
Thanks, yes.
Okay. So then a motion is ordered to approve 19-12-A for 116 square feet additional.
All right, I'll make a motion for that.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
And 1913A,
I'll make a motion.
yeah, I don't think we fit.
The description is very similar to the first
Yeah, they're
one.
exactly the same, except it's side, and then the other one has rear.
Correct.
So we're okay to make the,
So that there would be a motion to approve 19-13-A, conditioned upon a variance of 100 square feet.
I'll make a motion for
I'll
that.
second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And 1914A, Paul, can you read that, please?
Sure. 19-14-A, Custom Signs Incorporated. Applicant requests a variance from section 307.11 of the Monroeville zoning ordinance number 1443 as amended to install a third wall sign on the rear of the building that will exceed the total maximum allowable number of signs by 1 and also exceeds the maximum allowable square footage of a wall sign by 180 square feet, which we just amended. The property is located at 3700 William Penn Highway, tax parcel 638R242 in the C2 Business Commercial Zoning District.
Any other discussion? I seek a motion to approve 1914A, excuse me, as amended for a 100 square foot variance.
Make a motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for working with us.
Good luck
you.
on the project. Paul, next item?
Okay, number 4, 19-15-A, Justin and Michelle Dickert. Applicant requests a variance from table 201A, minimum side yard of the Monroeville zoning ordinance number 1443 as amended to construct a 23-foot by 8-foot deck on the side yard of the existing house that will encroach approximately 6 feet into the required 10-foot side yard. The property is located at 2013 McKinney Road, tax parcel 544C273 in the R2 Single Family Residential Zoning District.
Are the applicants here?
Yes.
Please come forward. Please sign in. State your name.
Justin
It's-
Dickert?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Why don't you stand in front of one of the microphones? Sorry.
You sworn
Thanks.
in?
Yeah, no problem.
You say your name again for the record.
Justin Dickert?
Justin, will you raise your right hand, please?
Yes,
The testimony you're about to give, you swear to be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God,
I do.
please.
I'm here because I'd like to build or I'd say replace the deck on the side of my house. Right now, it's approximately 6 by 4 feet. We would like to build a 23 by 8-foot deck to replace it. It would still remain inside the fence line of our property line there. The deck that's currently there is just old, starting to splinter. It's missing a bottom step, and we figured if we're going to replace it, we might as well, put something that would, add to our property value of our home and, to the community. What I also did is I went around and actually asked the neighbors to sign a sheet to see if they did have any sort of issues or concerns. I'm sorry. With me building the deck, that's all the houses that are neighboring my property. The first one being Ron, whose property line it's on, and he had absolutely no complaints. He said, "Do whatever you got to do to, improve your house and to build value to the community." So I appreciate that from all the neighbors, but that's where we stand with it.
Paul, is there anything negative from anyone?
No correspondence from anyone.
Is there anybody in the audience that has anything to say for or against this?
Why don't you give that to the court reporter? We'll make that an exhibit in this particular proceeding, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Do you want to mark?
Yeah, mark it exhibit 1.
Any questions, Lynn?
Are you gonna be building the deck yourself, or you have?
We have a contractor coming in. His name's Reed Constructions. I guess he's pretty familiar with the Monroeville area and all the
Have all your permits and
ordinances and
stuff?
everything. He said he wanted to wait to see
Sure.
how this goes first before we get into all the, all the designs and all that kind of stuff,
Okay.
so.
Motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you. Oh,
Number 5, 19-16-A, Sherry DeVitas. Applicant requests a special exception from Table 201A of the Monroeville zoning ordinance number 1443 as amended to operate a holistic health business from a single-family residence. The property is located at 318 Altaview Drive, tax parcel 1108H143 in the R2 one-family residential zoning district.
Sherry,
Yes.
good evening.
Good
Could you
evening.
State your name for the record, please.
Sherry DeVitas?
And did you sign in, please?
No, not yet.
Okay, please do so. Would you raise your right hand, please? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Please.
My name is Sherry DeVitas, and I live in a residential area right now, but I'm applying for a variance to run a holistic health business out of my home. I'm a certified holistic health practitioner, and I'm certified through the Board of American Association of Drugless Practitioners. I have documentation of this.
Just put it in that center spot there, they'll pick it up on the camera.
And I think a lot of people aren't really familiar with what holistic means,
Please
and
tell us,
it's alternative type of medicine which treats the body, mind, and the spirit, and it has an approach to as to whether if you have an issue and you're going through some type of a health condition, usually you'll go to the doctor and they'll treat those symptoms for your health condition, but with holistic, they treat the whole body. For example, say you're experiencing migraines and you go to the doctor. What does a doctor do? Your neurologist, typically what they're going to do is give you some type of a medication to treat your migraines. Whereas a holistic health practitioner will ask you questions about what your life situation is at the moment. Are you going through any type of stressful situation? Are you going through family problems, divorce, whatever? I'm a certified spiritual counselor as well. I could counsel the people through that. It's holistic, and it's more of a natural way of treatment as opposed to medications, whereas medications a lot of times have side effects. And probably mostly everyone in this room has taken some type of a natural or holistic type of a remedy, such as herbal. Anybody on ginkgo or I can't think of some of the different herbs or remedies that you've just been on and you trust them. And a lot of times doctors work with the alternative practitioners too, because sometimes traditional methods aren't always 100% effective, so they work hand in hand. And what I plan on doing is going to different types of facilities like chiropractic offices, med spas, massage therapy types of institutions around the area, give them my information and try to get business from those other types of businesses to refer to my business.
Are you just starting the business up now, or have you been practicing?
I have a website up, but the only practicing that I've been doing is through schooling. I just graduated last month, and I received my certification. This is my certification to be board certified through the American Association of Drugless Practitioners. I also have a holistic health practitioner license that I can show you.
Okay.
Okay. I'm a certified Reiki Master Practitioner, which deals with energy healing. And it's based on the Usui Makeo, Japanese. He's a Japanese Buddhist who developed it back in 1922. And Reiki, the word Reiki, R-E-I, it stands for life force. No, I'm sorry, higher power. Ki is life force. So everyone has that type of energy within you. Like if you're ever feeling like, down, your energy level can be out and you can be out of balance. And that's what the Reiki Master does, is kind of balances out the energy in the person through either laying on of hands, or you can do it like 3 to 6 inches above the person. And that energy, I would be a channel for the energy. It comes from source through me into my hands down onto the patients.
Okay. Now, is this, when you practice, is this just an individual and yourself, or are there any kind of groups or anything like that?
Well, the only group type of situation would be if I were to teach somebody to become a Reiki practitioner, which I really don't plan on doing that. I just plan on helping individuals one at a time at my house. I have a massage therapy table down in one of my, across the room where the game room is downstairs in the basement. And it's a separate entrance at the back of my home to go through. So they wouldn't be coming in the main entrance. And I have, my driveway comes down around the back. And the previous owner, what they did was they converted the garage, half of the garage space was converted into a bedroom. And I'm using that as my office right now.
As far as parking, you have adequate off-street parking for a client?
Yes, I only have one car at the moment, and I have, like I said, a parking pad in the back, cement parking pad, and a driveway. I don't know how many feet it would be. It's a pretty long driveway, probably about 30 feet, or maybe 40 feet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there any purpose
Yeah.
in having her certificates entered?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And what about your business of hours? Is it gonna be Monday through Friday, 5 days a week, 7 days a week?
It's going to be Monday through Thursday and Saturday. Monday through Thursday, 11 to 7, and Saturday, 11 to 4. And I also have a website. It's www.staywellreiki.com.
And it's R-E-I-K-I?
Reiki, yes.
So that I understand, there's not going to be any parking on the street,
No,
and this is going to be limited to a single client at a time.
correct.
Oh, anything from neighbors?
No correspondence from anyone.
Is there anybody in the audience that wants to speak?
I don't know, these
Just-
people, that,
Just one person?
that's
You're gonna speak?
me, and I'm disappointed that we don't have more.
You need to come up, please, and...
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I know some people.
Go up to the microphone and sign in,
Sign in.
please. Would you state your name for the record?
My name, excuse me, is Lorraine Havrilla.
Lorraine,
Okay.
would you raise your right hand, please? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Please.
I live in Alpine Village,
Yep.
all right? 58 years. So I know a little bit about it. I'm sorry, I don't know this lady. She lives, it's like a circle, Alta View down through Luzerne, which I live on Luzerne.
Yep.
I have a couple of concerns. First of all, the rezoning from, single family to a commercial business. I'm beginning to feel that this will set a precedent. First, we'll have dog kennels or you know, whatever. I have no idea. Maybe it's because I'm old. You know, and I know things change. I know that, and I'm aware of that. But this really does concern me. Like I said, I don't know this lady. In fact, I'd never met her before. But when I read that,
Well,
this gal will knows me that I'm kind of,
This might help you a little bit. It's not a rezoning. It's still going to remain single-family residential.
okay,
She's applying for a special exception to operate a no-impact home-based business.
how do we know that? Say, no,
Well,
no,
she just
no,
told
I'm
us.
serious. You know, I have questions, and I'm really
Yeah,
not.
would you just, in
I'm
your face,
sorry.
talk to the microphone?
I'm sorry. I have questions. But I wasn't aware, I thought it said rezoning. I'm sorry. I took it as, once this young lady gets her exception, first thing you know, 2 doors down from me, they're going to have another business. And to be honest with you, we are a very close neighborhood, extremely close. If anybody knows about Alpine Village, I do. I've been there a long time. I'm aware that things aren't what they used to be. But in my particular area, and even in her area, you know, we know each other. You know, we hi, hello, that kind of stuff. And we like that intimacy. I am really cautious about if her business takes off. First, you know, she's going to have classes, 3 or 4 people in for.
Excuse me.
You understand, there's going to be conditions on this that say she can't do that.
Okay,
I am not planning on having classes. Okay.
One at a time. We're not going to get into a debate. Right now, she's
oh, yeah.
got the floor.
Well, I am concerned. I really, truly am. I'm concerned about the president.
Well, and by our, if we were to grant this conditional or the special exception.
Okay.
That does not apply to any neighbor. Any neighbor that wanted to do a similar thing would have.
Would
to
have to come again.
And I believe if she moved out of the area, somebody coming in there doesn't automatically get the right to have a business out of the home. Am I correct?
That's right.
This is a special exception, not a variance, correct?
So it's limited to what the applicant is saying she's going to do with a single client, that not invasive as far as having parking all along the streets. They have to park in her driveway, et cetera. And if she were to violate that, then she could be cited as being in violation of the special condition.
And she could lose her special exception.
Now, one thing, one person can change the world. We know that. We're living in that time. And I'm still very, very apprehensive about this whole thing. Maybe I don't understand everything, but it's my neighborhood. And
Do you live on?
No. I live on
Luzerne.
419 Luzerne. You know how Altaview comes
do.
down? Luzerne. It's like a great big circle, okay? Like I said,
Can you see her house from your place?
oh, I can see the back of it. It's 2 houses. There's Luzerne, there's Interlaken, and then there's Altaview. Now, I can see the back of her house, because it sits up on a hill. I can see, I don't go out and look to see what she's doing. I have no idea. I'm not interested in that. But because I'm old, maybe I have nothing to do, maybe I didn't dust today. I don't know. But I'm concerned.
Well, we certainly have the same kind of concerns if this was to turn into some sort of business proposition with several cars, several clients, all at the same time. I think the zoning officer down there said it right. This is what we call a low-impact business. That means it doesn't impact the neighborhood. It's not offensive. There's no lights going off. There's no parking requirements. It's all
Music.
done, music, whatever. There's no food involved. This is
How do we
really a
know?
low-impact use. I'm sorry?
How do we know?
Well, that's the requirements. If
Well, I
it
know,
expands and
but you know
exceeds
what?
that,
There's
it
lots of
will be revoked.
requirements on a lot of things that aren't taken care of. You know, I know we don't have the
Let
manpower
me say
to
this,
block.
and nobody has said this yet, and you used the term variance, and you used the term rezoning, and neither of those terms apply here. This is what we call a special exception, and she has, as a matter of right, the right to have a special exception if she satisfies all the requirements of the ordinance.
Okay,
She's saying she's not gonna park on the street. She's saying she's only gonna have one client there at a time. She's satisfied parking, and she doesn't invade any of the other parts of the zoning ordinance. The house is gonna be used as a residential structure. And that's something that's permitted under Monroeville's ordinance by special exception. And we don't have the opportunity really to say no to her
Okay.
if she abides by those things. If she doesn't, though, we can certainly cite her. She could lose her special exception. And I think you'll be there to guard against that.
oh, you better believe it.
All right.
Can I
I'm
say
sorry.
something? My business is to help people heal, and I think would be to the benefit of the community to help
She might be the
Monroeville.
first
She
client.
might be one of my
Oh,
clients.
no,
you don't know that.
I'm perfectly fine. I am. But
Discount.
I still have a problem. I'm sorry.
Okay, we
Well,
understand.
I think maybe you don't understand what I'm doing then, because it's what I'm
Wait a
having.
minute,
We're-
young
we're not-
lady,
Wait a minute,
please.
we're not gonna
Wait.
get into that.
Okay.
Do you
I
have
may
any-
be old. I'm good here, not so good here.
I never said you weren't.
I am a smart lady. I understand. I have concerns.
Let's address your
You-
comments here.
I'm sorry. I have concerns. I have a right to say them.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I don't need her to tell me I do not understand. I have looked at this up. I know she can practice acupuncture.
No.
Massage.
Okay, it's not your turn.
I'm sorry.
Massage, herbal. There's a whole list of things that she is permitted. I don't know about with her credentials on this, but just from what I've read, she's permitted to do a vast array of things.
Right.
Within the confines of that home,
Yeah, yeah.
which as Mr. Dice explained, is a permitted
Okay.
special exception.
Okay. All right. What about? Oh, I'm not going to say anymore because I have other
Do you
things.
do you have anything else you want to add?
Nope.
All right,
I'm
thank you.
here.
Thank you. And so noted. Is
Thank
there
you.
anyone else in the audience that wants to talk?
Seeing none?
Seeing none.
Paul, was there anything else I may have asked before? I can't remember. Any other neighbors or?
No,
No,
I'm the only big boss.
no correspondence from anyone other than this evening.
Did you get that, Sharon? Okay.
Larry, anything?
No, I'm good.
No. Make a motion?
Yep, make a motion for approval.
With,
Okay, we're going to make the motion for approval with the conditions that there'll be no parking on the street, and it will be a single client at a time.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I accept that. Thank you.
Good luck. Paul?
The final item, number 6.
Don't ever accuse me of not understanding what's going on.
Okay, ma'am, if you have any other comments
You don't
out
need
there,
to explain it to me.
my advice to you is leave.
Okay.
Thank you.
I told you I'm the only big boss here.
Just push hard, there you go.
19-7-A Bonnie Fogel. Applicant requests a variance from Table 201A minimum side yard and rear yard of the Monroeville zoning ordinance number 1443 as amended to install a 12 by 20 shed, 12-foot by 20-foot shed that will encroach approximately 6 feet into the required 10-foot side yard and be entirely located within the required 40-foot rear yard. The property is located at 701 Illini Drive, tax parcel 1106K10, which is a corner lot in the R2 Single Family Residential Zoning District.
Applicants are here.
Yep.
Would you sign in, both of you, please?
Sure.
Did you guys bring a picture or a plan that shows your lot?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Why don't you put the picture up on the square if you could?
Space it towards you.
Well, You
Look at
need
the
the one with the
monitor,
measurements
yeah.
on it, correct?
I'm sorry?
You need the one with the measurements?
I don't know if we'd be able to pick that up on the,
All right, I got,
I think Paul's bringing one over. Let's, you want to swear them in?
yeah. Could you please raise your
Yeah, I
right
wanna-
hands, please? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Thank you. Whoever's going to speak first.
I'll let him go.
okay, let me see here.
Did they say their name?
Where we live on a corner lot.
Oh, excuse
You
me,
wanna
did
state
you
your
state
name?
your name for the record? I'm sorry.
I'm Daniel Luketic, Luketic.
I'm Bonnie Fogel.
And this is our home right here. We're on a corner lot. Our driveway comes in off the side street there on Hawkeye. And we just have this one area backyard here, and this is where we want to put the shed at back here. And there's other sheds from all the neighboring yards right there also. And it's all completely in the backyard. Yeah, they were saying it needed to be 10 feet off the fence, and if I would bring it more, it would be right in the middle of my little backyard. I'm on a corner lot, you know. But I have it in 4 feet off each property line, and, you know.
Doing the best you can with it.
Yeah, and I talked to all three of these neighbors here, all had no problem whatsoever with it.
So is it fair to say, Paul, this is one of these cases where actually the shape of the lot is conducive to a request for variance as such as this one?
Correct. They actually have presented a hardship.
Okay.
We need it for storage. I mean, we're not allowed to build a garage. I only have a single-car garage here, and we're not allowed to build. We have a lot of yard, but we can't build on it because of the zoning, you know.
Okay.
Oh, anything from any neighbors?
No neighbors.
Nobody in the audience anymore?
You didn't bring anybody with you?
I'm with her.
I knew that part.
Yeah, it's in our backyard, and it's gonna be a nice shed and everything there, so it's.
Are there any questions?
What picture, is that a shed that's there right now?
Yeah, we've already bought in the shed, and we didn't know about this, so we went and took care of everything. And before it was even in there, we talked to we talked to somebody upstairs, I guess, when we put the variance in. He says, I told him what the problem was, we already bought it and everything, they didn't have it in yet. And he says, well, if you put it in, if there's any problems with it, you may have to move it.
Okay, so the shed's already there?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the shed in the picture.
Okay, so it's already 4 feet from each
It
side?
it wasn't built there or nothing, it just came in already done.
Okay, they just.
There's right on a gravel pad.
Okay.
Right on a gravel pad. And he says if there would be any problems with any neighbors or anything, you know, after the hearing, because we had to wait the whole month and we already purchased the shed, you know.
Okay,
And then if there was any problems, then we would have to move it at our cost, you know.
right.
Any questions, Wayne?
As far as the shed's been there, there's been no issues or anything with any
Oh,
neighbors?
no, I talked to them. I'm good to all
Okay.
my neighbors there and everything, you know.
Right.
There's really only three that outlined. The one on the other corner, she's 100 feet or so away.
Okay.
She's on a corner, her house is back, you know, we're far apart.
Okay, that's
You
good.
know, and I'm back by the other two sheds. That my neighbor behind me has a shed right there. He has a 12 by 16 shed right behind mine. You know, and then the other one, I don't know, it might be a 10 by 12. But they're all in the corner there.
Thank you.
Motion?
Make a motion for approval?
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Approved.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
Good luck.
You have a good evening.
You
too.
also.
Thank you.
Take care.
Did you steal my picture?
Oh,
Before I
Don't steal his picture.
ask for a
Which one
motion
was
to
his?
adjourn, I'd just like to send our best wishes to Jim and Sharon
is that yours?
Rosenthal.
Okay.
Hope everything's working out well there. Motion?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second? All in favor? Aye. We're adjourned.